Did you look up at the sky tonight? And what did you see?
Lacey, can we be friends?
Heck yeah, we can.
My mama used to say, sometimes the only way out of the fire is through. What does that mean? She met you. You learn more from it.
Crap.
You saved me.
I saved you.
You did. You are a hero.
I'm a hero.
We have located Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
And I want to say that things are not always as they appear.
She can walk.
Welcome to Parawoman Radio. I'm Amy. Welcome to day 10 of LIVEmas. How's everyone doing? I need to make sure that you can hear me. I've got my headphones in today, and sometimes they don't go in right and you can't hear me. So I'm just going to listen to myself for a second. Okay, you can hear me. So this is Parawoman Radio, and I'm Amy. This is day 10 of LIVEmas. I hope everyone's doing well. The little dog had a really good night last night. I only had to get up once to give her medicine and let her out. So I had a pretty good night's sleep as well. Yay! If anyone has been following my journey with the little dog, her back has been hurt, and I've been asking for prayers and healing for her because I'm really worried about her. She's on a lot of medication. Okay, so I saw that Gypsy Rose is going to be released from prison, and I thought we could watch a few things on that. I also saw an interesting video that I'm playing around in my mind of doing myself, but I thought we could watch a few minutes of it. It's by... I think her name is Lenanamil or something like that. It's comparing Gypsy Rose to Eugenia Cooney, and in that both the mothers appear to have Munchausen by proxy. So I thought we might look at that comparison if anyone's interested. Let me show you what I got. This is Parawoman Radio. If you could give this live a thumbs up, helps us dance out into the algorithm and bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help us out, and it's really appreciated. Okay. All right. Get us all situated. This is from People Magazine or E! News. Gypsy Rose Blanchard granted early release from prison amid sentence for mom's murder. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, whose alleged abuse by her mother, Claudine D.D. Blanchard, was detailed in the act, will be released from prison early after serving 7 years for her mom's murder. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is leaving prison after more than 7 years. The 32-year-old, who was sentenced to 10 years behind bars in 2016 for her role in the death of her mom, Claudine D.D. Blanchard, and whose life story was depicted on Hulu's The Act, has been granted parole. A Missouri Department of Corrections spokeswoman confirmed to the E! News on September 29th. Gypsy, who was originally set for a 2026 release from prison, will now be freed on December 28th after serving 85% of her sentence as required by the state law. She will also, per the Missouri Department of Corrections, be given time served for the years she spent in Greene County Jail ahead of pleading guilty to second-degree murder. Gypsy's story captured national attention in 2015 after she and her boyfriend Nicholas Godejohn were arrested in June 2015 for Dee murder. Police discovered the 48-year-old body in the Springfield, Missouri home she shared with her daughter after being alerted from a Facebook post to the duo's joint account reading, "That bitch is dead." Gypsy would later testify in court that Dee Dee kept her largely isolated from the outside world, made her use a wheelchair, forced her to undergo unnecessary medical treatments, and told friends and neighbors that she was disabled and had severe illnesses. Her father, Rod Blanchard, told ABC 2020 in 2018 that Dee Dee, his ex-wife, told him that their daughter had leukemia, paralyzed muscular dystrophy, and was also using a wheelchair and now had a feeding tube. Gypsy said on the program that the only thing I had wrong with me is I had a little bit of a lazy eye. After her arrest, police discovered that Gypsy was actually healthy and able to walk. One of Gypsy's former neurologists, Dr. Bernardo Flasterstein, said on 2020 that he had become suspicious of Dee Dee because Dee Dee, when he was made to examine her daughter for muscular dystrophy and cerebral palsy when she was 14, but found no evidence of either condition. He added that Dee Dee was not happy when he told her that Gypsy's prior diagnoses were wrong. He said that he wrote a letter to Gypsy's primary care physician. I believe that the mother suffers from Munchausen by proxy. In addition, a 2009 report obtained by 2020 showed that another doctor alerted authorities when he could not find any symptoms that support that Dee Dee alleges to be wrong with her daughter. In July 2016, after Gypsy pleaded guilty in the murder case and accepted a plea deal for the minimum 10-year sentence, her lawyer, Mike Stanfield, told the Springfield News Leader, essentially, Gypsy's mother was holding her a prisoner. Her mother would not allow her to spend any time with any other human being. Her mother, when they went to the doctor, did all the talking. What do you guys think? How do you feel about Dee Dee Blanchard? Do you think she had this disease? I think for sure she had this disease. And it's tragic what happened to Gypsy. During Nicholas's trial, Gypsy testified that her mother controlled and abused her, saying she hit her, punched her, starved her, and chained her to her bed for weeks. People felt sorry for me, she said, of the illnesses her mother led others to believe she had, according to St. Louis TV station KSDK. They believed the lie. They believed the fraud. Gypsy also admitted in her testimony that it was her idea to kill her mother. I wanted to be free of her. Hold on me, she said, per the outlet. I talked him into it. In 2018, Nicholas, then 29, was found guilty of first-degree murder, and the following year, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Nicholas told 2020, he did what I did because he loved Gypsy. I really wanted a life with her. I really did, he said from jail at the time. Gypsy confronted me about it. I prayed once I got her. I tried to get her mother's soul to forgive me. During her time in prison, Blanchard met and married another man in June of 2022. She wed Ryan Scott Anderson from Louisiana and changed her legal name to his. Oh, so she's Gypsy Rose Anderson. She was briefly engaged to a man named Ken, who she met through her prison pen pal program. The alleged abuse of Gypsy and subsequent murder of Dee Dee's, I can't say that. There's some words I can't say, and they usually contain Q's in them. As for what Gypsy thought of the series, her family friend and rep Fancy Masila told E! News in 2019 that while her client couldn't watch the act in prison, she was told about it and was very happy about Joey's casting. However, Fancy also pushed back at the events depicted in the award-winning series. She added, "We certainly support the actress, but we do not support the act as it was grossly inaccurate." Hulu has not commented on Fancy's remarks. Okay, so she is going to be released on December 28th, it looks like. I thought that it would be interesting to look at what's going on with Nicholas Godejohn since he is still in prison. Gypsy Blanchard's release from prison looms as Nicholas Godejohn fights for new trial. I believe he has a mental illness that he didn't deserve a life sentence as well. If they let Gypsy off, they needed to do the same for this man, but that's not how justice works, is it? Gypsy Rose Blanchard will soon exit a prison in Chillicothe, Missouri, and experience freedom for the first time in 8 years. The man with whom she conspired to kill her mother faces a lifetime of incarceration. Nicholas Godejohn, Blanchard's boyfriend in 2015 when he brutally stabbed Dee Dee Blanchard several times at a Springfield home before he and Gypsy fled to his native Wisconsin, continues to fight for a new trial. His new public defender, Tyler Cole, filed another appeal Tuesday citing ineffective counsel. He claims Godejohn's previous lawyers failed to fully investigate and present evidence from a qualified neuropsychologist specializing in autism spectrum disorder and the defendant's diminished capacity defense. Godejohn had long been diagnosed with autism. The defense in his previous trial was that he was unable to distinguish fantasy from reality due to the level of his neurodevelopmental condition. He was charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action, but Cole believes he should have been charged with second-degree murder due to his condition, which would have included the possibility of parole and potentially shaved decades from his prison sentence. An amended December 5th court filing said Godejohn was prejudiced as a result, and that had counsel not been ineffective, there is a reasonable probability that he would not have been convicted of first-degree murder and armed criminal action and would not have been sentenced to life without probation and parole in 25 years. Oh, he got an additional 25 years. Wow. Godejohn said he killed Dee Dee. I'll put the whole article in the description below. Godejohn said he killed Dee Dee, a woman who appears to have suffered from Munchausen by proxy syndrome by proxy, a mental condition in which someone makes another person. Okay, hold on a second. Junebug. This is what I hear all day long. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. It drives me crazy. Come here. You stop it. Now get over here. I wouldn't have done it. I would have done it again. I might have done it differently, but I would have done it again. I couldn't see her suffer anymore. Godejohn. All right. I can't handle it, you guys. I got to put him in the back room. Hold on one second. Let me get something else going, and then I'm putting him in the back. So this is a video of a actual person that went to Dee Dee Blanchard's home. Now he's stopped saying stop it. Blanchard's home, and I thought we would watch because I'm always interested in people that go visit homes. So this is a woman that went to Gypsy Rose, Dee Dee Blanchard's house. That is the one in Missouri that was given to them by Habitat for Humanity.
So this is not going to be the greatest intro, whatever, because I don't have my tripod. It's in the trunk, I think. But I'm on my way to the actual house. If you ever seen the show The Act on Hulu about Dee Dee Blanchard and Gypsy Rose, well, the house is in Springfield, Missouri. And it's 3 hours away from where I live. And I'm driving there
Does anyone know who owns the house now? Is it still Gypsy's house? I guess maybe she'll say.
now. And sorry it's so shaky. I'm holding it, so. And you guys will see when we get there, but Dee Dee was murdered in this house, the mom of Gypsy Rose. And I'm going to go there.
This is Parawoman Radio, day 10 of LIVEmas. I'm Amy. If you could give this LIVEmas a thumbs up, it helps us dance out into the algorithm and bring more people back to the party. We've covered such cases as the Watts case, Lori Daybell, and those are the two on the top of my head. And today we're covering Gypsy Rose, Blanchard, Anderson.
There and see if I feel any vibes or anything, and probably look through windows. If I don't have a good vibe, I'm not going to get out of my car. So we'll see what happens. That's crazy.
I won't play the entire video. As always, I will put the link to the video in the description. I encourage you to go and watch it in its entirety.
No trespassing. I can't get out. It's illegal. The light is on. Like the porch light is on. That's so creepy.
They probably leave it on 24/7.
Wow. That's crazy.
Why is it crazy?
I'm kind of tempted to get out. Watch me be at the wrong house.
The sidewalk, it's legal to be on the sidewalk. You just can't walk up on the grass.
No, that's crazy. Yo. I want to get out.
Let's see if she gets out. I don't want to sit here listening to her want to get out. She got out. She got out.
I don't like this.
Why don't you like it? Tell me why you don't like it. What is the reason? Is it because someone died in there? Is it creeping you out? What is the reason?
It's definitely creepy.
And what is creepy? The light isn't creepy. What's
My
creepy?
heart is like pounding. I can't. That is really creepy. But of course I have to go to the side and look at the side window.
Show us the neighbors.
See, they seem like they had a lot of entrances, but oh, this one's closed. It has shades, like shades, and they're closed. It's probably the room she got murdered
You
in.
guys, is it me or is this
Yeah,
very anticlimactic?
My heart is pounding.
Maybe it's because I'm not so as like invested in this story.
I don't even have a back door.
I don't have a back door.
How do you live in a house with only like 2 doors?
How do you ask that question? How do you ask that question?
Oh,
Even my house that was a house had only 2 doors. That's weird.
the vibe you get back there is terrible. Yo,
For those that are just
I'm not a
joining
fan
us,
of that
this is
vibe.
day 10.
I can like tolerate this one up here.
This is day 10 of LIVEmas. We're watching a woman who has gone to the Gypsy Rose house. She's shocked that there's only 2 doors in the home, and she's creeped out. But she's not saying why she's creeped out. She's just creeped out.
But there's something
This is
there.
the home in Missouri that Dee Dee Blanchard was murdered in.
I mean, shit, I would too. I got murdered in my own house. That is so creepy. Really creepy. There's 2 eye holes too, which I think is neat. I'm
Is
afraid to
one
open
for a
that door
wheelchair?
because if or attempt to because if that door is unlocked,
Oh, one's
anyone
for a
can be in there.
wheelchair. Viewing.
No, I didn't figure it'd be unlocked. Even the door handle's locked, so you gotta know the deadbolt's locked because anyone can kick in that door. The clip of me trying to open the door, I got back out of my car because I was just more curious. And the second time I got out of my car and went up to the door, like up that ramp, I started getting really bad vibes. And when I got up to the door and tried to open it, I thought I was really going to like pass out. Like those vibes are terrible on that house.
Okay. I used to have a paranormal group, and so I feel I must weigh in on this. She sees the no trespassing signs there, and that has her heart going. She knows that there was a death in there, and that has her heart going. These are the vibes that she's feeling. She's not really tuning into anything except her own fear of what is actually right in front of her.
Not only was Dee Dee a bad person because she got arrested for fraud and she made Gypsy do all these horrible things and all that, but she got murdered there. And what's weird is there's like 2 windows that have no shades. It's like the kitchen, the other kitchen window. And then the living room one is open, but the bedrooms are closed. It's accurate feeling versus just being like, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to make sure I had all the intentions of knowing what I was walking up to so I can get a legitimate, accurate feeling.
I don't think you did, honey. I don't think you did get a legitimate and accurate feeling. You were going by what was in your mind.
It's just be like, oh, it's a house. You know? Conclusion, not spooky, not to me at least.
Like creepy.
But yeah, I'd go again. I'd give it a 7 out of 10 because 1, the drive was not bad.
I'm going to put her linked. This is Risa Vlogs. I will put the link to this in the description below. Watch the whole video and you'll be able to get the whole scoop on the Dee Dee Blanchard home, Gypsy Rose Blanchard Anderson home. I do wonder who owns the home. Let me do a quick, who owns Gypsy Rose house. Former Highland Mills home of Gypsy Rose Lee on the market. Property owned by actor Victor Garber, Gypsy Rose Lee for sale for $1.6 million. Wait, Gypsy Rose Lee. No, that's not right. Property owned by actor Victor Garber. No, this is something else, right? Yeah, this is something else. All right, let's see. Here we go. Blanchard Family Home, 2103 West Volunteer Way, Springfield, Missouri. You know, Gypsy just married a man from Louisiana, and that's where all of her family is. She's for sure going to be going back to Louisiana, but just trying to see who owns the house. About this location. Dee Dee Blanchard and her disabled daughter, Gypsy Rose, lived a simple but difficult life together. Gypsy Rose had been diagnosed with dozens of serious illnesses, which had caused her to lose the ability to walk, along with needing frequent trips to the hospital. Dee Dee likely had Munchausen by proxy disorder. By the time Gypsy Rose was a teenager, she was tired of playing along with the farce was looking for a way to escape sometime before June 2014 under the cover of night. Finding the location, the small home that Dee Dee and Gypsy Rose shared is located on Springfield, just north of Highway 44 on West Volunteer Way. The home still has the wheelchair ramp. Oh, my mouth is like I've got glue in it today or something. The house is located on private property, and the homeowners are not friendly towards Kurt's fans. As a reminder, be respectful and never attempt to enter private property. Stay on public roads or parks and don't block traffic. See, watching her go up to the house, I wasn't condoning going up to the house and trying to open it. I was just saying you could stand on the sidewalk. But we just watched a video of a girl who walked up to the house. So it is what it is. There's this really interesting thing that I saw that I want to look at just momentarily to see if I want to watch it enough to do my own in-depth dive on it. But there's a woman who is comparing Gypsy Rose to Eugenia Cooney. Eugenia Cooney, you know who I'm talking about? If you don't know who I'm talking about, let me show you really quick. It can be very, very triggering for people with eating disorders. So I want to warn you, and this is a warning right now, that this can be very alarming to look at. But this is Eugenia Cooney. She's an influencer that has kind of taken the internet by storm. There are so many people talking about her and whether she deserves to be on the platform or not. Many people say she deserves to be on as much as anyone else, as much as anybody battling weight issues. If you're heavy, you shouldn't kick them off. I don't know what the answer is, but it's a conversation that needs to be had, I think. This is Parawoman Radio, and I'm Amy, day 10 of LIVEmas. If you could give this live a thumbs up. It helps us dance out into the algorithm. And if you like my content, please subscribe, because I'd love to have you with us. She doesn't try to hide what's going on with her. I have to get my little dog moving. So this is Eugenia Cooney. This is who I'm talking about.
Pregnant, guys? I'm not pregnant at all. No.
People like to troll her and tell her she's fat. Tell her she's the thinnest she's ever been, and people are telling her she's gaining weight. So that's what's going on with our Miss Cooney. Hold on, you guys. My little dog is moving, and I got to get her situated. Okay.
I'm definitely not pregnant. No offense to anyone that's pregnant, you know. Before I offend the pregnant people, I am not saying there's anything bad about pregnancy, but like, what are these comments? Wait, what baby bump? I don't think I have a baby bump, guys. You think you see a baby bump? I look 6 months pregnant? Really? I mean, it might be like the way my skirt is sitting right now, guys, or like my shorts. I don't think there's a baby bump. I really don't. I mean, oh, you're kidding. Okay, I'm like, what?
Yeah,
like,
so that's what happens over on Eugenia Cooney's platform. But I thought we would watch this really quick. We're obviously not going to be able to watch it all. This is 18 minutes long. It's pretty good. I haven't listened to it at all though, so let's look at it just a little bit, and then we'll pop over to, maybe they'll let us in, maybe I'll be able to find where she's going to be paroled to, and if she's going to be living with her husband, her parents, where is she going?
She had took like that 5-6 month break off YouTube, came back that summer talking about, you know, she had went to rehab, she had, you know, got help from Shane Dawson, and those three.
See, she this is what she looked like. She had went into rehab, and she was the thinnest she had ever been.
5-6 month break off YouTube, came back that summer talking about, you know, she had went to rehab.
There. This is what she looked like when she came. This is what she looked like at her lowest when she went into rehab. She's worse than this now. This is what she looked like when she came out. She's a really pretty girl.
She had, you know, got help from Shane Dawson and those three other people. I forget their names. I think the one girl is Jacqueline Glenn, but I'll insert a picture of them. It was her, another girl, and then a guy, and them three were.
She's no longer friends with
her,
these,
you know,
because those are the ones that got her to go into rehab. They had an intervention, and she believes that she does not have an eating disorder and didn't need to be in rehab.
Whatever, but you know.
And her mother is the same. Her mother will say that Eugenia doesn't have an eating disorder. She's just a skinny mini.
That whole situation happened with her mother. But I just find it very ironic that that same year that series came out, that's the same year that whole situation happened. As far as Eugenia though, I'm sure everyone watching this video knows about her, but I will just give a brief little background on her and then compare like how she used to be when she started off YouTube to how she is right now in the present. Eugenia, she's been doing YouTube for, I'll say, about like 10 years now. And when she first started off, a lot of her videos will be like, because you know she's into like the emo, goth, all that whole aesthetic. So she would be doing a lot of hauls and then a lot of makeup tutorials or like hair tutorials. As of right now, she does still do those same type videos.
I feel Gypsy Rose is a little goth as well. Let's move forward.
So right now, the present is the second smallest that, you know, us all as the viewers have ever seen her. Now we are going to take a brief intermission. I'm going to tell y'all just a little brief background for, you know, those who you may not know about Gypsy Rose and her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard. Gypsy, ever since she was born, her mother, Dee Dee, was just, she was just on games. From lying to her daughter about different illnesses she had, from lying to her daughter about her age, and from lying to her daughter about people wanting to like break them up or, you know, split them apart, and just like always just trying to like get in her head and just manipulate her. She was always trying to make a point to exclude anyone from their life, whether it be neighbors, and even like her father, Gypsy's father, she would just make it a point to just exclude everyone from their lives to like keep her safe and to do what's best for her, which me personally I think is really rich. Coming from Dee Dee, seeing as, you know, yes, she did want what was best for her daughter, but it's like the way she went about it and the extreme she took doing so, it was just like, okay, you know, are you wanting what's best for her? Like I said, do you just want to like manipulate her and just control her for the rest of her life? However, as Gypsy was getting older, she did finally begin to put, you know, two and two together, one and one together, and she was peeping and realizing that her mother was lying to her. Well, she told her she had cancer, couldn't walk, just among many other things. But yeah, she was beginning to like put the puzzle pieces together.
Okay.
To me, really isn't any better than if she were to just do the other stuff that Dee Dee was doing. Now, along with the video topics that I did mention, Eugenia had started off her channel doing, she has also had videos on her channel where she'll have her mom on the channel. Years back, the like dynamic between her and her mother.
Are you guys interested in me doing a Eugenia Cooney video all on its own? Because this is Parawoman Radio and we talk about women's issues. And I have had an eating disorder in the past. So I've kind of stayed away from it, but I'm feeling healthy and I'm thinking that maybe here I am talking about it. So would anybody be interested in having a dedicated Eugenia Cooney video?
It never seemed weird, suspicious. Well, I don't know, like at least to me, that bad. But as years have progressed, and especially now in the present, I just feel like you can just tell that it's something going on in the background, or just I don't know. I just get this vibe from her mom whenever she's on screen sitting next to that girl, and I don't like it because I just feel like we all know Eugenia suffers from AED. And we all know and can see what her body looks like from this ED that she suffers with. So, me personally, I'm just confused as to why every time it seems as though, well, 9 times out of 10, I'll say that her mom is on the channel. They're always doing like a cooking video or like them little TikToks or like the spend a day with me and my mom videos. They'll be out, the
They
mom
do
just
that
behind the camera
because
recording Eugenia as she
they
walks.
do that because Eugenia's only friend basically is her mom, and that's who films her videos when she's out and about. Like she did a video where she went to the beach and played at the beach, and it was her mom that was there with her filming it. This is Parawoman Radio, and I'm Amy. This is day 10 of LIVEmas. We're looking at Gypsy Rose and Dee Blanchard, and there was a video I saw that compared Gypsy Rose, Dee Blanchard, to Eugenia Cooney and her mother, and so we're just kind of taking a little look at that right now.
In public. I remember this one vlog I watched. I don't know when this was made of her. I'll maybe try to find it so I can insert like the title of the video that it was in. But she had like took her to some little clothing store, and she had like Eugenia was in the back like trying on bikinis.
Yes.
In public, and I'm not trying.
She didn't have Eugenia go into a women's room. She had her change into a bathing suit right there in front of everyone.
Your daughter suffers from an ED, but yet you're in a video next to her talking about oh no, she's fine. You guys don't have to worry about her weight. She's just skinny mini.
How is your mom okay watching you wilt away? She's not. My mom lives with me. She knows that I'm fine.
I know she eats. She takes good care of herself.
Exactly. See? Exactly.
She happens to be skinny mini, but she does take
exactly.
Skinny
We're all different.
But she does take good care of herself.
Exactly.
Is that not insane, you guys?
You don't say skinny mini. Like there's just certain comments you don't make towards somebody who has an ED. Like anyone knows that. So how I say, y'all let me know what y'all think, but me, I just feel like her mom be doing a lot of what she do. Or really just the both of them. I'm like, I remember this scene in the series, like the next door neighbor who Gypsy had become friends with. I think they were like around the same age. They were like outside talking or whatever, but like Gypsy has to be like on the front porch. Like it always seemed like if she wanted to leave that house's perimeter, she has to be with her mother, like no one else. Now, call me crazy, but do it not seem like every time Eugenia leave the house, her mother is always with her? And I just feel like, and matter of fact, I don't think she knows how to like drive Eugenia. I know in a few videos I've seen like her behind the wheel and like her mom in the passenger seat, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure that the mom is with her all the time, and a lot of it has to do with her strength. I don't think Eugenia Cooney's even strong enough to, like the day of the beach, she did carry stuff over, like, but it was like it looked like such a struggle for her.
Again, her mother's just always with her, and you don't need to be, going out there, just you can see the moon from inside the house.
You guys, she's 29 years old and she's afraid to go outside because she might wake her mom up.
I'm trying to think where the best place to see it will be. Oh, she's awake. I woke her up. Hey, Mom. Did you hear about the moon? Is it that? Everyone's telling me I need to go see it. Oh, okay. All right, let's look through. We're just gonna look through the window, guys.
Now, did y'all hear them bells in that clip? Like, bro, what? I just feel like if you have bells on your door, that's for like when you have like when you're trying to make sure nobody can get out. Like if you know, an animal, like if you got little bells like on the doggy door in the door, or like if like say you have I don't know, a grandparent or like a
I
parent
don't
living
know.
in a
Some
house who might
people
have like
have
dementia or
bells
something
on
like
their
that, you know,
door.
and like you don't want them to, or like your kids know when they are, you know, stuff like that. But for her, I just feel like, why is that? It's given like
Sometimes I think people are
turning them or,
a
you know,
little too
however.
like rah 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 rah. There's something going on. Bells on the door. There's houses where there's every square inch of it has some kind of little crafty something on it. So I remember bells on doors
You know, for each specific life, you had to
for
undo it.
decoration.
It was just still alive.
What do you guys think? Do you think that this has any validity, that Gypsy Rose's mother is a lot like Eugenia Cooney's mother? Did they both suffer with Munchausen by proxy? I don't know, but I guess it's something I'm going to look into a little bit more. Okay, so the next one we're going to watch is, where is it? Right here. We're going to see if
How
it
did
tells
Nick
us
know
where
when to do
Gypsy
this?
Rose went to, what she's been doing. This is Parawoman Radio, and we're doing a Gypsy Rose update. She's being released on December 28th of this month. And we looked at her home, and now we're going to see if maybe we can see where she's going to be released to.
Timeline that morning.
I told him.
Who planned this murder?
I did.
Gypsy Blanchard admitted to helping her boyfriend kill her mother in 2015.
Nick was happy to do whatever Gypsy wanted.
Now, more than 8 years later, she is set to walk out of prison a free woman. Thanks for joining us here on Law and Crime. I'm Anjanette Levy. Gypsy Blanchard admitted that she planned the murder of her mother, Claudine D.D. Blanchard, in 2015. That would usually land someone in prison for many, many years, if not the rest of their lives. But Gypsy Blanchard will be released in December, right after Christmas, after being granted parole. Gypsy Blanchard testified at the trial of her then-boyfriend, Nick Godejohn, in 2018. Gypsy and Nick met on a Christian dating website. Nick was Gypsy's first boyfriend. Gypsy said she wanted to kill her mom because her mom had abused her and held her captive.
And what was going on in your home life that made you reach the point where you did that or made that decision?
I was growing up. I was desperate to get out of my life.
Did you tell Nick that?
Yes.
And what was your mom doing that caused you to be more desperate?
Things were getting physically and more physically abusive. The hitting was more. The starving was more.
Now, you mentioned you were in a wheelchair. Were you required to act any certain way when you were in a wheelchair?
Yes, sir.
How was that?
She would have me stay very quiet and pretend like I couldn't walk.
Gypsy said D.D. Blanchard told people that her daughter was a terminally ill teenager, when in fact she was perfectly healthy and in her 20s. Gypsy said her mother did this so she could garner sympathy and collect donations. When a parent convinces a child they are ill, it's called Munchausen syndrome by proxy, and it's a form of abuse. The prosecutor told the jury that Nick Godejohn traveled from Wisconsin to Missouri to kill D.D. Blanchard at Gypsy's request.
36 hours prior, he got on a Greyhound bus in Milwaukee, knowing he was coming to Springfield to murder Claudine. That bus stopped in 3 different cities as the defendant sat on it, knowing he was coming to Springfield to murder Claudine. That wasn't the first time the defendant deliberated. It was a year prior. when the defendant, while speaking with his girlfriend Gypsy, was first introduced to the idea of killing Claudine Blanchard a year prior.
Was that the only plan you ever had in terms?
And try and start a relationship.
Trying to fast forward through all the.
When your mother was murdered.
It's just.
And those pages.
It was not a happy marriage.
This isn't doing anything for me.
Guilty of murder in the first degree.
Okay. Let's see. Well, all right, I don't really see anything new. It looks like Adam McIntyre's been covering the Gypsy Rose stuff, though. Interesting. Interesting. Let me see if I type in. There. Gypsy Rose to be released. Let's see, maybe this one will tell me something a little bit more.
Well, we have a major update in the case of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. She was convicted of playing a key role in murdering her mother back in 2015. Now, Gypsy has been granted parole after serving 7 of her 10-year sentence.
I've got a lot of things open right now, so my laptop needs a moment to catch up. This is Parawoman Radio, and I'm Amy. We're covering the Gypsy Rose Blanchard update. She's going to be released in December.
With her release date.
Just trying to see if it's going to tell us where she's being released to, and then I'm going to call it a day.
Date now set for late December. She did plead guilty in 2016 for her role in the killing of her mother, Claudine Dee Blanchard, after admitting she arranged for her boyfriend at the time, this man, Nicholas Godejohn, to kill her mother after she endured years of abuse. Now, Godejohn was also found guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. So in all of the investigation, it was revealed Dee Dee had fabricated all of Gypsy's medical issues, convincing her friends and family that her daughter had leukemia, muscular dystrophy, asthma, brain damage, saying that it limited her mental capacity to that of a 7-year-old, all of which were lies. Gypsy said in court her mother forced her to use a wheelchair and undergo unnecessary medical tests to collect gifts and donations. Experts say Dee Dee had Munchausen syndrome by proxy. That's a mental disorder in which a caretaker fabricates illness.
To be released early. You see, she is about to have served 85% of a 10-year sentence, which under Missouri law grants her the ability to be paroled, to leave prison early. So there's nothing abnormal about this. Now, having said it, one of the advantages that prosecutors took here was for her to plead guilty to second-degree murder, the lesser charge, not first degree, because she was one of the state's key witnesses in their prosecution of her co-conspirator, Nicholas Godejohn. He was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. So many times we see these cases where deals are worked out with one person so that they can testify against another, particularly in this case where the argument was more blame was put on him than it was on Gypsy.
You know, Jesse, what likely happens for Gypsy Rose now? I mean,
there was more blame that was put on him. And the fact that Gypsy went through what she went through for all those years. But the boyfriend he's got a mental illness that I think we should have taken into consideration.
She never really lived a normal life, and then she went to prison.
So let's be clear. What she did was horrifying. It was terrible. It was illegal. It was wrong. But there's a part of it where you have to feel terrible for what happened to her, right? Because she was a victim in this as well. Whenever I covered this case, I said, there's so many victims in this case. life is not going to be easy for her. A, getting over the fact that she was a victim of her mother for so many years and being convinced that she was sick when she wasn't. B, being implicated.
She has said that actually being in prison is better than her life with her mother. That says something right there.
In the murder of her mother. C, spending all this time in prison and now being released into the world where everybody is going to know what she did. And there's a stigma that comes along with that, even when people are released. So she's going to have a tough time. I would imagine
I have a feeling she's not going to have a tough time. Like, she's not going to have an easy time, but I feel like she has a really strong support system. And I think that is what has carried her through. Her father and her stepmother seem very devoted to her, and now she's married. I just think that she's going to have it easier than what this guy is saying.
Do an interview, maybe tell her side of the story once again, because people haven't been talking about Gypsy Rose in a while, and maybe she wants to give her narrative once more.
Yeah, and this is certainly a case that, when
She
people
will,
see her,
for sure.
they hear a few of the details, it starts to come back. Jesse, what about the ex-boyfriend in this case, Nicholas Godejohn? He was sentenced, as we said, to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now here's Gypsy Rose, who will be out of prison in December. Is that justice? Because as you said, at the heart of this, there is still a woman who lost her life.
It's a great question. Nicholas Godejohn has always said that he felt he was manipulated in all this by Gypsy. We know that he's an individual who's lived with autism. That became a central issue in his case. But we also remember that during the course of that trial, there were so many graphic parts of this murder, the planning, what happened during the course of the murder, things that were said, that were all put on Nicholas Godejohn. And so I think when you look at this, what is justice? Nothing's going to bring Dee Dee back. Nothing's going to fix the early part of Gypsy's life. But Nicholas Godejohn is the one who stabbed Dee Dee Blanchard to death. He is the one that took that knife and ultimately brutally killed her. And there's nothing that can excuse that. So it's not.
But in other cases, just even people planning it go to prison for life. Life isn't fair.
Surprising that he was ultimately convicted of first-degree murder, and under the state law, he is going to spend the rest of his life in prison unless he can mount a successful appeal, which may not be likely.
And Jesse, as we're talking and this video is playing and we're seeing these images, there was a movie about this. There was a TV series about this case. Do you think there's more to this story that we will find out once Gypsy Rose is a free woman?
Absolutely. There's still so many unanswered questions about why she did this, what was her relationship like with her mother, because we don't usually hear this. We've heard of cases of Munchausen syndrome by proxy, but nothing like this.
Yeah, we don't usually hear it because usually the person that the child usually passes. And so it usually does not get flipped like this, where the child turns around and inflicts death upon the person inflicting the pain on them. So, okay, guys, this has been day 10 of LIVEmas. I'm Amy. If you could give this live a thumbs up. If you want to hear more about Gypsy Blanchard, please let me know. If you're interested in Eugenia Cooney, please let me know. I love all of you. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers lately, and I want to say welcome to everybody. Welcome. I'm so happy you're here with us. And of course, I got my OGs in the background who I love just as much. So please keep coming back. This is Amy Williamson, and this is Parawoman Radio. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Did you look up at the sky tonight? And what did you see?
Lacey, can we be friends? Heck yeah, we can.
My mama used to say, sometimes the only way out of the fire is through. What does that mean? She meant you have to suffer. You learn more from it.
Crap.
You saved me.
I saved you.
You did. You are a hero.
I'm a hero.
We have located Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
And I want to say that things are not always as they appear.
She can walk.